Welcome to the Wild Ways podcast, where we live, breathe, and talk all about this wild world that we live in. Hi, welcome to the Wild Ways podcast, another edition of Seeking Truth. So I had a thought occur to me the other day, and I just ended up writing it down. It's part of my Proverbs study, which I've finished that chapter. I'm on Ecclesiastics now, or however you say it. But one of the things that occurred to me was while I wrote it, I'll just read it out to you. So the topic is feed your spirit instead of your mouth. Something hit me while I've been working on myself and chasing real wisdom. Wisdom to improve, wisdom to become a better person for me and for the people around me. One thing stands out clear as day. So many folks are feeding their mouths, but starving their spirit. We see a lot of overweight people. I know we all get impulsive, and I'm one of them too. We make choices to feed our flesh, to serve our body in the moment, and then regret it later. These same people hit the fanciest restaurants, eat the best food, drink the finest wine and cocktails, and still they're unhappy. They're negative. They're mad at their spouse, mad at their kids, mad at themselves. They're miserable. What I see is people feeding their mouth nonstop while their spirit goes hungry, spiritually starving. I believe that's exactly what the world needs right now. More of us feeding our spirit, especially with everything going on out there. In just the last week, I watched spouses fight, road rage flare up over nothing, negativity pouring out of people's mouths, and the news cycles pumping more of the same. Knee-jerk reactions everywhere. All of it screams one thing to me, a spiritually starving crowd. I mean, that part right there is true everywhere I look. There's just people hurting all over the place. And it's almost as if their bodies and if they're spiritually starving are lashing out a little bit. So anyways, I wrote that. If we don't feed our spirit, I don't think we can ever be truly happy. And if you look, it doesn't matter how much you have, if you're spiritually starving, you can't be happy. Like, and I personally come from the Christian faith. I've recently come back to it, but I'm not preaching religion here. I'm saying we need to feed our spirit. We need to work on ourselves, because one day it turns out we all die. At my funeral, what do I want people saying? That I was trying to help others, that I was fun to be around, positive, helpful, putting others first, or that I was a negative guy who sucked the sunshine out of every room. If they're talking about a negative person in my memory at my funeral, I can only imagine that it was a miserable life full of regrets. This is, like, for me, this is a spiritual journey. As I feed my spirit, it wakes me up. It makes me watch my flesh, watch my impulses, watch what I eat, watch how I move through the day, watch how I react to others. Feeding my spirit has taught me to think things through, to use the wisdom I've sought, and to make decisions instead of just going with the flow, following the crowd, or reacting on emotion. It's helped my family. It's helped my relationships. It's gotten me back on track. It puts things in perspective. It gets me up in the morning with vision and purpose. And believe me, I've done the fancy restaurants and fancy drinks. I've let my flesh run the show, how I acted, reacted, and lived. But feeding my spirit slowly, one day at a time, is truly transforming my life. I'm so grateful I recognized it, and that I'm building the discipline to keep feeding it, to keep saying no to the worldly demands, the pressure to go with the flow, to follow the mainstream. I think a certain number of people are having what I'd call a spiritual awakening right now. I hope as many people as possible wake up before it's too late for them to get their spirit in shape. Because when the spirit gets strong, the body often follows. You start treating yourself better, treating other people better, and most importantly, you find real purpose, joy, and happiness. Which brings me to another thought I had, which I wrote down as well, and here it goes. It's wild how many adults, parents, coaches, teachers, are constantly pushing kids to get better, step out of their comfort zone, to get in shape, to grow as a person, to put their phone down, to eat healthy, to get outside. Yet that same adult who's barking orders is buried deep in their own comfort zone. They never push themselves to improve, to get stronger, to learn something new, to get out of that rut. Instead, they stay the same, often glued to their phone on the couch, slowly dying from inactivity day by day. And again, I wrote, sounds pretty hypocritical to me, so let's look in the mirror, let's set an example, let's take the step, let's all get better together. Anyways, that was something I wrote. It's part of my seeking wisdom. I think from what I've been reading and studying and working on myself, it makes a lot of sense. I can't be a hypocrite. I've got to be a good example. I've got to constantly work on myself to improve my mindset. To get out of my comfort zone. Like just all that stuff is just common sense to me. And man, oh man, it's been working pretty good. It's a work in progress. I got to grind it out kind of every day, but it's one of those things. Part of my seeking wisdom is feed my spirit instead of my mouth, and that's what I'm doing right now. And it seems to be adding a lot of enjoyment. It's my family certainly gets to reap some of the benefits from me doing that. It makes me more conscious of being a better human and a better person, a better father, a better husband, a better buddy, better family member to the rest of my family. So I hope if we can take something from this, it's start to feed our spirits. And I don't mean like by any means you have to be a Christian to do it. We can do lots of other stuff to feed our spirits, good things, positive things, to become more positive. We can do a gratitude journal. Gratitude journal's been something I've been doing. It's been fabulous. It's really hard to be negative when you tell yourself you got to write down things you're grateful for. Because I believe from my own experience that when you're grateful for stuff, you'll have more things to be grateful for. If you're negative about stuff, you'll have more things to be negative about. So it's just one of those, comparisons in Proverbs is like, let's be grateful for what we got. We live in a pretty good time. Let's not get caught up in all the noise and work on ourselves. And if we work on ourselves, become better, we'll make people better around us. Oh, that's another episode of Seeking Truth. Still getting better at it. I've got my main YouTube channel. It's called Lyman's Wild Ways. It's kind of following my outdoor transition and outdoor lifestyle change from the old life I lived. I've got this on my Substack. I'll leave links below to both of them. Plus, it's going to be out on my website. Actually, you guys are the first to hear it. It won't be on Substack or the website as a post until February 21st, which is my birthday. So I've decided to post those then. But you got it first. They'll be there if you want to print this off and read it for future use or anything like that. If it helps you, that's what I'm hoping it will do. It'll help somebody out there. So have a great day, a great week, great month, great year. We'll talk to you on the next one.